How are you? Good to see you.
Continue propagating light.
Amazing.
Great. We're not going to give a lunch here. Please help yourselves. Hello. Everybody, I want to invite you to take a plate of something delicious and go find a seat if you'd like. It's, of course, optional. At the tish that are beautiful, Fabrengen tish. And we're going to start
It's the other microphone. What happened? It's the other microphone. Tell it, shut up. It's making sounds? Yeah, they fixed it,
Something to eat, settle in.
The shows here in Harvard.
Where?
The shows here in Harvard.
Okay.
I remember last time.
Usually when you hear you like the first to make you want to
No, I did that. Like Friday night, thing, and then Shabbos I come here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, it's for the past like 3 years. I always come here. Almost like 90 to 95%. No, just in the summer. Just in the summer, it's every...
Everybody wants to know. Say about Chanukah. So the Gemara tells us from a brisa that we have to light the candles. Mitzvah. From the Shkia, the Shkia also, mitzvah is the light from the Shkia. At the mitzvah of lighting candles, the mitzvah of lighting candles. The mitzvah of lighting candles is to light the candles from the Shkia until when is the Shkia? This is a very niggling question. When is the Shkia? So most are trying to say, this is what we're using. Most are trying to say that the mitzvah of Shkia, no, it's fine, most are trying to say that the mitzvah of Shkia is to light the candles. Mitzvah of Shkia, so from the end of Shkia, which is Tzeitzak Chol, which is when the night falls. Eden, you with me? Where are you going? The mitzvah is from Shkia, which is from nightfall, until Ticharayel Tamadoyim. But the Rambam actually learns that the mitzvah is Mitchilas Shkia. From the moment of Shkia, that's when you have to light the candles. So the obvious question is the very important question. The question is, according to the Rambam, which is many so, according to many, we light the candles for Chanukah right after Shkia, right by the beginning of Shkia. Shkia also. Chanukah starts in Chaf Hey. Chanukah starts on the 25th day of Kislev. The 25th day of Kislev starts when? Tzeitzak Chol. Right? That's when the day starts. So you say Lahadlik Ner Chanukah. You're lighting the candles of Chanukah, but you're actually lighting the candles on the 24th day of Kislev. So by Shabbos you can do it. This is a good place for Shabbos. You can say that except for Shabbos earlier. Chanukah is no Toises Chanukah. Can't be Toises Chanukah. Can't add to Chanukah. So you're lighting candles and you're saying Lahadlik Ner Chanukah, to light the layers of That's not Hanukkah.
Maybe it's only from the second day, right?
No, that's shackled, but it's not halacha. But then it would also be strange to lighting a different night, lighting a different amount of candles.
Is there any opinions that Shkia is actually the start of the next day?
There's spending so then Shmoshes. So some people say it's young, some people so you're light but it's definitely not. There's different Shkias, but the first Shkia is definitely not there the next day. The question gets even more deep. The question gets more complicated.
You gotta go deep to go high.
You gotta
Go deep to go high.
Sorry about this, we're gonna go really fly. L'chaim, every time we gotta go deep to L'chaim. The question is, we all know that on Chanukah there's an argument whether Hadlaka is a mitzvah. Is the mitzvah that you have to light the candles? Hanacha is the mitzvah that it should be lit. What do we rule? The rule is that you have to do Hadlaka. That's why we say lahadlik ner Chanukah. The mitzvah is to light it. So the mitzvah is, if you say the mitzvah is to be lit, so you can say the light lasts till Hanukkah starts. So then you can say lahadlik ner Chanukah. But if you did lahadlik ner Chanukah to light the candles and you did it on the 24th day of Kislev, what's going on? So now we have to go a little bit deeper and try to understand what this is all about. So we have to understand what Chanukah is, what does Chanukah want, what is that kind of light we have to draw out in our lives to Chanukah. Because Chanukah, every Yom Tov is connected to light. Every Yom Tov is connected to light. You have to light Shabbos candles, you have to light Yom Tov candles. But Chanukah is the only Yom Tov that the mitzvah is the lighting candles. It's the mitzvah of light. You do the cover Chanukah, you light lights. Mitzvah is, there's different versions how you say the bracha. Some people say lahadlik ner shel Chanukah, and some people say lahadlik ner Chanukah. What's the simple reason lahadlik shel Chanukah? Lighting for Chanukah. What's the smart understanding? What's the opinion to say only lighting rather than Chanukah, not shel? Yeah, why? Because the answer is because Chanukah has no existence without light. You're not lighting candles of Chanukah. Lahadlik ner, you're creating Chanukah. Without the candles, there's no Chanukah. Not lahadlik ner.
It's like a hefsek.
Yeah, it's a hefsek. You're saying, no, it's not really a hefsek. You're saying that it has an existence beside the light.
There's no chalos Chanukah.
There's no chalos Chanukah without candles. It's chalos sukkahs. You can say the sukkah, nation, not sukkah. No, you don't say lahadlik ner. Lahadlik ner shel Yom Tov. Say it, of Yom Tov. Yom Tov exists, and the lighting candles for Yom Tov. Chanukah doesn't exist without the candles. So it's you have to understand. How do we begin to understand this?
Say l'chaim, maybe.
First of all, everyone should say l'chaim.
That's how you begin.
That's how you begin. Once you say l'chaim, things will start opening up. L'chaim, everybody, l'chaim, l'chaim.
All of our unanswered questions. There's a whole slew of questions. It's just they have to say it, but the time is lost. The best way to answer questions is to pause. Positive.
to understand. We have to understand what's going on. Everyone doesn't drink. We must understand the Chaim. You're drinking white? That's white?
No, it's the punch.
The punch is white. It's vodka.
It's not good.
Chaim, everybody. I'll tell you what. At this end of the room, people are saying Chaim. Adir, you're not saying Chaim.
Chaim Adir.
Chaim Adir.
Sume. Chanukah. Ad etech le'regel min hashuk.
The Rambam holds you have to do the Simcha in Chanukah. The Shit's Rambam, you have to, according to the Rambam, it's a mitzvah to make a Suda on Chanukah. And the Rama writes that even though we don't pass it like the Rambam, but still if you make a Suda, you make a meal, you should say Shir V'Sish Bachos. And that makes it a Suda Shemitzvah. You sing Hashem's praise, it becomes a Suda Mitzvah. So let's make sure that we do Shir V'Sish Bachos. Yeah. Okay, we'll continue. So Chanukah, the first thing that we notice about Chanukah is that Chanukah, I think maybe you have to make a Sarah Mashkin. Not you.
How many minutes for who? For different people?
Simcha. Where's Lindsay Center?
I have to leave.
Okay, Simcha, take a while. Yeah, just give yourself a little time.
Make sure everyone has l'chaim in the cup.
Anyways.
Make sure everyone has a cup and make sure everyone has l'chaim.
The story is like this. Make sure that you should know.
And then give them the Chaim and the cup.
Jeff needs a Chaim also. So Chanukah is 8 days.
Sure.
Why is Chanukah 8 days? Why is Chanukah 8 days?
Mila Mina Teva.
It's also a problem. Why Chanukah is 8 days?
Should be 7.
It should be 7. If the miracle was 7 days, it should be 7 days. Everyone has a problem. Why Chanukah is 8 days? So you say Chanukah is a mile on a teva. What does it mean? What does it mean?
I just said that. Just repeated it.
There's a maracha, there's a 7, in general, 7 is connected to Zman. Zman is a pattern of 7. Zman, time, is connected to the number 7. What is time? What is time? What's Zman? So Zman is the yichud between Shema and Sheban. That's what Zman is. Now you understand?
Yeah. Thanks.
Zman is 97 in the merit value.
Which is Mem Hey plus Beis. Mem Hey plus Beis Nun is Man.
Yeah, correct. So Shema is 45. Sheban is 52. 52 or 45 is 97. So what does it mean? What does it mean? Ma, what does Ma mean? Ma means what? 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 Adam, a person, a live person, what's the difference between a person that's alive and a person that's alive because they want to get killed in an accident? An alive person is someone, why do music stop listening? A live person is someone that lives with questions. Someone that's a shoyev, someone that's asking what, how, why, constantly. They're open to a possibility of the future. Koyach, the potential of what? This is one level of, this is Adam. What is Shem Ban? Ban has the same numeric value as Behemoth, as an animal. Not that I have anything against animals, but they don't have existential crisis, generally.
Not yet, they will.
Okay, if they live long enough with humans, they will. But a behemoth is Bama. A behemoth is someone that swallowed their mom. Means that a behemoth, definition of a behemoth means someone that lives just in the present moment. You give an animal a straw, they think straw. You give an animal a road, they think to run. You give them a ball, they jump. Whatever's right in front of them, that's what they think about. They're very immediate. There's no ma. The question is swallowed within them. And they live for the present, just for the moment. This is Zman, has the element of the present. And Zman has the element of the possibility of the future. That's why Zman is called, in Talmudic language, Hasmana Milsi, to prepare. Zman has the word to prepare, which means it's moving into our future. This is the way we look at time. Yeah. Why am I saying this? Chanukah. So Zman.
L'mayla is
Oh, L'mayla. What's L'mayla? So Zman is in the code of 7. It's the idea of the Mahamban of time. The Mahamban of time. Then there's a dimension of 8, which means eight can move in 2 directions. How do you get to number 8? 8 we do find in the Torah. We find 8.
Bris.
And Bris, Shmini, an animal cannot be offered before the 8th day. Sukkot is V'yem Hashmini. So normally the number 8 works like this. First you have 7, and following the 7 is number 8. So you have 7 days of Sukkot, and the following day is 8 Shmini Atzeres. Or you have Pesach, which is 7, and then you have 7 times 7, and the following day is Shavuos, which is the 8th. So the Maral says that always Torah is connected to the 8th. Torah is always connected to 8. Either Simchas Torah or Shavuos. So you move from 7 is a pattern of time, then you move to 8. So when is the 8? The 8 comes after the 7. This is one level. Chanukah is a level of the 8 that comes before the 7. It's a different type of 8. It's a different type of 8. You can go through 7 and then you get to the 8th. That's one way of traveling to the 8th with the Shmini Atzeres and Shavuos, even a Bris, maybe Shmini. After 7 comes 8. Chanukah is the 8th. That's why, according to Beis Shammai, you actually like because you start off from the Nakud of 8. You're starting off from the point of 8. What is the Nakud of 8? Where do we see the Nakud of 8 in Zman? Okay, I have to say This is all a cycle of time. The Rav writes that this is continuous. It's not that there's a Sunday and a Monday, every Sunday is a Sunday. But we have at Mincha, and Shabbos, at Mincha time, is a time of Rav and Rav. It's a time of the desire of the desire. What's the desire of the desire? Before there's the creation of time, the structure of seven, Hashem had a desire to create. There was a taiva, there was a ratzon, there was a desire to create. So really that Scholas Abri, the beginning of creation actually starts not at seven. The beginning of creation starts with the Nakuda, the point that comes before the seven. The point that comes before the seven is the Shabbos Koydem Aspirations. Because I'll tell us that if Klal Yisrael keep two Shabbosim, Mashiach won't come. Yadim Yigalim. What are the two Shabbosim? There's two Shabbos. There's Shabbos that comes at the end of the week, which is a place to go towards. You're leading up to Shabbos, Rishon Shabbos, Sheni Shabbos, getting closer to Shabbos. And the Shabbos, the Mechinah of Shabbos, where it's a place to come from. The Shabbos that Chazal say the two Shabbosim is the 6 days of the week that is bookended by the two levels of Shabbos. The 2 levels of Shabbos, when you start from Sunday, then Shabbos is 7. But you start from before, then the 8th, which is beyond time, actually begins the week. Beginning the week actually on Shabbos. And then you start counting into time, to Sunday, to Monday. This is what the Nakuda of Chanukah is. The Nakuda of Chanukah is that it's mechubar, it's connected to the 8. We said that Zman has Ma'aban. Zman, Ma'aban is the present and the future. And Chanukah is the Nakuda of Zman of the past. We have to hear this again. Every Yom Tov that we celebrate, every Chag, Pesach, certainly Sukkot, but even Pesach. Pesach happens on the 15th day of Nisan. It's not a miracle in Zman. Nothing was inherent in Zman. So Chazal told us that's Moitzi B'Koishor is that Hashem took us out in a good season, it was a nice season. But it's not connected to time. Nothing about the time. Chanukah is the only Yom Tov that we have that's connected to Zman. That's something that was going to last for one day, instead was Nimshach in Zman, was continued in time for 7, 8 days. It's when time becomes larger than the time that it exists. Normal time is 7 time. Normal time is 7 days a week. And Chanukah revealed a level of time that's beyond time. Because how do we see that's beyond time? Because it can last for 8 days. Really, Chanukah lights last eternally. It has to. Because it's beyond time. Since it's beyond time, we don't do Havdalah after Chanukah. There's no really separation. It doesn't end. It's just symbolically that we want to connect to something that's beyond time, something that manifests within time that it's actually beyond time. So the only way to celebrate that is through the dimension of 8. But the point is that it's not the 7 that gets to the 8th, it's the 8 that leads into the 7. And that's when we're starting from a Nekuda that's L'mayla min Hazman. And then we're getting to a place, it's in Zman. In Pesach, you're going from Zman to beyond Zman. In a bris, what you say is that the child goes through the full cycle of the week. And that's why Chazal tell us that a bris is on the 8th day, because he needs a child to go through all the days of the week, all the periods of Zman, and when they reach the full transition of Zman, they get to L'mayla min Hazman, that's a bris. So they're going from Zman to beyond Zman. That's the general movement. But here the movement is the opposite. The opposite. You start with an akuti, you start with the point that's beyond Zman, and from beyond Zman, it's expressed in Zman. So 8 is really an akuda. Yeah. This is connected to the ratios. When it says in the Torah that Bereshis bar l'kim, Hashem created the world Bereshis. What does the Torah say? The Chachmusa. That Hashem created the world with Chachma. That Staka Be'eraisa Bar Alma. Hashem looks into the Torah and creates the world. Which means the Chachma is the wisdom that comes before the time. The Chachmusa, which is the 8th level, right, being a Chachma, creates time. Wife says we need a good one.
Wait, so Chachma is Ches? Or it's
Ches. It's Ches and Bina. It's Chachma Bina. It's very, very lemons partial. It means that because there's the Nekuda of Bina that's connected still to the spheres of 7, so it's like the 8th of the 7th.
So it's an 8th that precedes the 1st.
It's an 8th that precedes the 1st.
It's the 8th that births the 7th.
It's the 8th that births the 1st. It's Bereshis bar l'kim. Hashem creates creation in the ratios. In the wisdom, in the 8th, that's when time was created. Time was created in a dimension that's beyond time. And therefore it's expressed, it's something that lasts for eternity. Okay, this is the Nekuda, we have to talk about it longer, deeper, higher.
You got
To go deep, to go high. That's what Simcha, where's Simcha? You gotta go deep to go high.
I don't know.
You gotta go deep to go high. You gotta go deep to go high.
Yeah, tell us.
You gotta go deep. You gotta go deep. You gotta go deep to go high. It's not too early in the night. It's way too early.
scanning now?
The bracha on Shechiyanu generally, Yom Tov, make a Shechiyanu because Shechiyanu, that we came to this time period, the Zman. The Zman means Dvarvelu Niskar Benasim. We remember them and it's recreated. But in Chanukah, Shechiyanu means something else. Shechiyanu means that we have a different type of Zman. Yom the Zman Hazeh, that Hashem brought us to a place of Zman. That's L'mayla Min Zman, to a time that's beyond time. So, such covenant, I think it's such covenant.
I'll pick him up.
The Vart is like this. We find, so when you say Shechiyanu, you have to have a different kavanah. We find, where's the number 8? Something very interesting about Chanukah. Everyone asked the question, 8 days, they needed, why do they need the oil? It's the first time in America. Basically asked this question. So the Taz says that in order for the miracle to occur, it had to be a chalois teva. It had to be a chalois. Maturation?
Initiation.
No idea.
No, it has to be an achizah. It has to have an anchor. From Bar Park, straight from Bar Park. Professional translators. You see, you think the Harvard graduates know the words. No, the Bar Park didn't know. He needs a big l'chaim. So the word is like this. You need an achiz and teva. It's very interesting. Pesach. Hashem didn't tell Moshe Rabbeinu, maybe you should start multiplying some frogs, and then I will help you and make millions of frogs. Hashem says, you go, the frogs will come. Hashem says, it didn't say Moshe Rabbeinu, start, splitting the water, start like pushing the water, and then I'll split the water. It was not chizah teva. It was a miracle. Sukkos Anana covered. It's not nothing we did. If we did, it's like more in the merit of Aaron HaKohen Sukkos Anana covered. It's more in the schus, but it's not a direct correlation. By Chanukah, they had to find the jug of oil. Why did they have to find the jug of oil? And if they didn't find the jug of oil, so that night they looked for the oil, they found nothing, and they decided to go like this. And a light came and lasted for 8 days. What's wrong with that story? Misha Amar, the Shem of Yavlik, the same God that said that oil can burn. They should have poured some water into the menorah. They had nothing to pour. And a miracle happened, and the fire came and burned the water. No, it has to be Shemen. But the Shemen had to be oil, but it's not natural oil, only lasts one night. So miraculously, the oil expanded, became more oil, miraculously burned. So if it's miraculously burned, then they could have had water. They could have filled up the cups of water. What do they need? What do they need? What do they need? A chiz and teva. And the miracle occurs through them doing something naturally, through them participating naturally, and somehow through the natural, the miracle occurs. And the answer is because this is the number 8. This is what 8. This is what Hashem wants us to number 8. 8. Everyone talks about 8 as transcendence. But it's very strange because the 8, when the Torah says we should do something for 8, like the bris, or when they establish the Mishkan, it's actually we participated. It's specifically our participation. 8 is almost paradoxically all about us. Hashem says, I created the world in 7 days, and now I want you to create what I created in 7 days. I want you to mimic that creation to create the Mishkan. And how are you going to do it on the 8th day? So So the eighth day is transcendence or immanence. Is it about us or about transcendence, about God? Also the bris. What's the bris? The bris is on the eighth day. Hashem says, I created the boy to be this way. And now you're going to create it to be differently. So we're perfecting on Hashem's creation. This is the Nukud of 8. The Nukud of 8 is like this. Sometimes there's miracles that happen. And something happens extraordinary. L'mayla l'azam, beyond time. And it's such a deep revelation, it's beyond time, that time itself collapses. And there's no time. And sometimes it's so deep, it's so high, and it's so low simultaneously. That's how deep it is. It's so deep and so high that it can be so low as well. That means Hashem is infinite. If infinity has to destroy finitude to exist, it's not really infinite. Because it's finite in being infinite. But infinity can actually include finitude within its infinity, then it's truly infinite. And this is the level of 8. Hashem says, Chanukah is a very special celebration. You know why Chanukah is a special celebration? Because we created it. Klal Yisrael created it. L'shon acheres kavua, we had no prophets. We had no Nevuah, didn't say the Pasuk. We had no Mordechai, no Esther. We had a couple of warriors, a couple of soldiers. It was not such a good time for Klal Yisrael in general. And people say, you know what, something extraordinary just happened. And Hashem says, you recognize it? Let's make it a Yom Tov. That's when me and you can be married. That's the 8th day. The 8th day is L'mayla min hazman, in zman. In time. And when you live with the Nukud of L'mayla min hazman in zman, then even your zman has a dimension of infinity. Every moment becomes infinite. If we live connected to the ratios, to the beginning, to the Chachma, to the wisdom of Hashem, to the Torah, to Rishon Yisrael, Rishon Torah, Rishon Ratios, if we connect ourselves to the ratios of Bria, connect ourselves to the transcendence, the 8 that comes before the 7, then miracles happen in nature. Our life becomes a miraculous existence. Every moment becomes a miracle. Every moment is lived as a miracle. Every moment, in order for every moment to become a miracle, every moment has to be seen as a miracle. It says about Moshe Rabbeinu about the burning bush, which is Aragamos, which is talked about. It says about Moshe Rabbeinu, Vayar Hashem Kisor Liros. There was a burning bush. And the fire was not consuming the sneh. Vayar Hashem Kisor Liros. Hashem saw that Moshe stopped. And then Hashem tells Moshe, you're the guy. So Chassidish Svar is like this. The burning bush has been burning since the beginning of time. Right in front of you is burning. Hashem's presence, Chanukah, is burning in every single moment. Moshe Rabbeinu was the first person to stop. Hashem saw that he stopped and he said, wow. How many times did we walk down the street and say, wow? You need a person. You know what a person is? To speak to a person, you know what kind of miracle it is that you're having a conversation with a person? You see a blade of grass, you know what kind of miracle it is? But we just step on it and walk further. Hashem stopped and said, wow. He said, wow, he saw the miracle in the present. And he says, through you are going to draw down miracles. It's not simple, it's the Pella Habriya. The wonder of creation. You get jaded, stuck. This is the Chashmoyim, they didn't get stuck. They believe in somehow that if they're going to like this thing, something's going to happen. They don't know what. Maybe someone's so they're going to find another oil tomorrow. But that's the belief, the possibility that something, that life is not what it appears to be. It looks dark, it looks tummy, it looks like all Heichel is destroyed. And a few people say, you know what, it's not true. Let's look, let's find. We're going to find something. And whenever you search, you find. This is the principle. The problem is we don't search, we don't look, we don't stop. And we're not living with wonder. We have to open our eyes to see the miracles of creation, and then Hashem draws on miracles in our life. Hashem shall help us, we should draw down huge miracles. Everyone around in this room and beyond, whoever needs shidduchim, parnasa, health, and kol tuv selam.
Amen. So the atheists live really also live for Neazman. That's a chiddush for me. Big chiddush. Is that big chiddush for me?
But I think it's nice. Makes sense.
It does make sense. And also it's like because Chanukah comes from us. It's also like before it comes from Hashem.
Correct. Exactly. It's about
That's a big chiddush for me.
la So, Chanukah, Chanukah. Where's your mouth?
Fabrengen with the Argentinians.
How am I speak Spanish?
Looking forward to giving over the words in Spanish.
The word is like this. I know. Next week.
Next week.
The question was, how can we light Hanukkah candles? How can we light the menorah? Chavdal before Chafei. When the text says the answer to the question is as follows. Because the oil of Hanukkah, the oil of Hanukkah, the oil of Chanukah. The oil of Chanukah. The oil of Chanukah is the Nakuda, the point of the 8 that comes before the sun, which means that's connected to the ratios, to the beginning. And the way to actually connect to the oil of Chanukah is to extend Chanukah backwards. Not only forward, that to say that the Nakud of Chanukah is the oil that exists, the 8th dimension, the 8th oil that exists prior to the sun. And that's why we bring the Chanukah. We connect ourselves to the oil. That's the oil of the Rav. It's the oil that exists in the desire for Hashem to create this world. It's the oil of Chachma, the wisdom of Emunah, of faith. Faith as well, that's what the oil is. When a person is double, a person is connected to the higher light, the light is connected to the 8th, that's beyond the 7. In every moment is the hoidus and the halal shimchar gadol. In every moment, on the sechel, shebachol yom moment, erev avokim and saroyim, we say moedim, we thank Hashem for the miracles that happen, for the wondrous things that happen in the morning, in the evening, at night. When a person is connected to moedim, when a person is connected, moedim is the madrega of 100. When a person is doubled to that place of that's beyond Zman, beyond time. Huh? Pach Hashem.
Beyond space, beyond time.
Shah. That's Pachim up there. Oh, Pach B'chav. Pach is with a Chav.
Yes, it's 100.
The whole Lohides L'Hala L'Shulcha Agadol, the whole purpose of Chanukah, we light the candles, Laharis and the Galas Zanes to reveal the miracle, and we should recognize the miracles that are happening in our life at every moment, and to be grateful to them, and thank Hashem for all the miracles that He gives us continuously. And that's how we break out those who are struggling with some types of depressions or choshech. The way to break out of choshech, the way to break out of darkness, is to start thanking Hashem for the small things. You can stand, Hashem. You can speak, you can breathe, you can talk. Everything's a chesed Hashem. You learn yourself to train yourself, thank Hashem for every single thing in your daily life. It lifts the person. It lifts the person. It lifts the person out of their choshech. That's where the idea of Chanukah We celebrate Chanukah on the darkest night of the year, the coldest night of the year. And the whole idea of Chanukah is to be grateful. That's why the laws of Hallel, the Rambam writes the laws of Hallel and the laws of Chanukah, because Chanukah is Hallel by God. Sing us in Hashem's praise. We can't take things for granted. And we have to open ourselves up to the miraculous. By being grateful for the small things, we open ourselves up to bigger things. And life is a miracle. Hashem gives us a miracle in life every moment. And we see the miracle, and we are able to see the miracles in our life. Hashem opens us huge miracles, bigger miracles. Sometimes you need to talk about B'tchol Hashem Adiyah. Sometimes you need to talk about Tul B'tachim. Till you get to B'tachim, B'tachim is Ad. It's 74. B'tchol Hashem Adiyah. We ask Hashem to give us B'tachim till we get to a place of B'tachim. You know what that means? Sometimes you have faith, sometimes you lose your faith. Sometimes you have trust, sometimes you lose your trust. Sometimes you see the light on the horizon, and sometimes it seems very dark, and it looks like it's only choshech. And in those times, sometimes you have trust. Trust. You know that Ma'ayin Yavi Ezri Hashem can give you a miracle in one moment. One day is like this, the next day can be completely different. But sometimes you don't even have that trust. So you have to trust it. Until I get to the point of the trust, Hashem, please give me the strength to have trust. I should trust again. Some people have gone through life situations where they stop trusting, and they've been hurt, and they open themselves up, and another person hurt them. The people who know what I'm talking about know, and everyone has this on any level. Because I can't fall. You can't fall. You have to learn how to get up. That's the Madrega Nun. What's the Nun? Nun is a falling Nun. There's a Nun that falls. And then there's a Nun that stands up. The Nun that stands up. This is the Nachash, this is the snake. It's called the Nachash. The crooked will become straight. It talks about the snake that's crooked that fell. Nachash Nun is the feeling you fall. You fall. You trusted, you opened your fall. It was a wrong decision. Things didn't work out the way you thought it should. And you fall. But then there's the higher Nun, that's the Nun that gets up, the Nachash that stands up. From the place that you're falling, from the place of the darkness. You stand up because you trust and you're home. And you always have B'tachim. Hashem's infinite. There's always a possibility. No matter the choshech, no matter the darkness, there's always a possibility. And the kli, the vessel to receive these blessings, these miracles, is the B'tachim itself. So what happens when you don't have B'tachim? You don't have to trust. Hashem give me the strength after that with Hashem. Hashem should give us the strength that we should have trust and trust. We should start trusting and get trust. We should have faith and faith. We should have hope that there's hope. And there always is. And then you become a straightened out Nun, like a Nachash that gets up, and the Nachash is the Gematria Mashiach. Mashiach is a Nachash. Why is Mashiach a Nachash? Mashiach is a snake. Why is it a snake? Because Mashiach lives through all this and gets up. Lifts the legs up. And if you get up, you reveal the spark of Mashiach. Not to allow life and situations and circumstances to get you down. To be thankful, to be grateful, to be moided. Zal tell us that when you bow moedim, you have to bow down. And if you don't bow by moedim, if you're not grateful, your spine, which is your backbone, turns into a snake. You know what it means? Your backbone falls. If you're not grateful, you're spineless. And you fall, and you don't believe anymore. Everything's bad, and you're just licking the dust. You're like a snake that just eats the dust. The Kotzker once said that the reason why the snake was cursed to eat his dust. Kotzker was the wiser curse. It's a blessing because he can eat food wherever he goes. He says yes, but he never has to look up to heaven. That's the curse. He never has to cry. He never has to ask. He never has to dream. He never has to imagine. Everything's right over there. To be human is to stand upright. Rabbi Tom writes, the reason why we stand upright, say for Hashem, if you want it. He says the reason why a person stands upright, because they can look heavenwards. An animal looks right where it is. It's always looking down. What's immediately in front of me? But to be a human, you want to be a real human being, you have to have trust. You have to dream. You have to imagine. There's always a possibility. There's always hope. Hashem's infinite. So if you don't bow by moedim, you're not grateful for the small things. For the small little things in my life. You end up just licking the ground. You have what you need, you get through life, but you're dreamless. You're eating dust. But if you're able to get up, so it says that when you get out of the moedim posture, you should get up like a chaviyah. You should stand up like a snake. You should stand up like a snake, and just so that if you don't bow down, your spine turns into a snake. And it says if you bow, once you bow, you should get up like a snake. So snake good or bad? That's the type of snake. If it's a falling snake, it's nun, it's neufel, and it's licking the ground, and it's hopeless, then it's hopeless. But if the snake can stand up and be upright, and look heavenwards, that's Mashiach. That's to reveal the mitzvahs of Mashiach, the Yid. To reveal this little spark of Mashiach within you. The spark of Mashiach within you is a spark that always is connected to the Hashem, always connected to the future. The sages tell us that all of Israel, a portion to the world to come. Makes no sense to say. It's like saying every single person in this room has property to Manhattan. You have to say everyone in this room has property in Manhattan. Why does it call Yisrael Yeshel Chem to Olam Haba? To Olam Haba? Because it's always the future. Not here. It's what's going to be tomorrow. Your Olam Haba of tomorrow, after tomorrow is Olam Haba. What you dreamed about and your level that you reached spiritually, even physically, whatever level you reached, what you hope for tomorrow, what you're going to achieve, after tomorrow, that's already dead. After tomorrow, you have to have another Olam Haba, and another Olam Haba. Another Olam Haba, it's continuous. Until we reach Olam Haba, until we reach the world of perfection. You cannot sleep. You have to every day increase the light. Every day a little bit. It's not major. You don't have to do major moves in your life. Some do, some don't. But every day to increase one little candle. That's what we're asking. One little candle. You lit one candle yesterday, light two today. You live to today, life to tomorrow. Everything grows. Make sure that you're increasing, that you're moving forward. Lo Elam Haba. This is the way of Chanukah, the light of Chanukah that we can connect with to reveal in our lives. So I want to say a little L'chaim, a lot of L'chaim.
Yiddishkeit in comparison to like the synagogues and the shape, right? So I was thinking, let's just say the shape of the Greeks. What posture are they in? I think they're standing.
The Greeks are standing.
The Greeks are standing.
Father, that's the whole. That's the acher. And they saw the Abish sitting. In Greek, you can understand. That's the shtei reshuyas.
They come standing, we respond to sitting. Right? Every time they come standing, we respond sitting. We respond to their standing sitting. Like cradle. They're coming on the trend. And we're saying we're just trying to experience God. It's not you don't have to force it. It actually is natural. And you were saying about falling, it's all about the cradle. We're playing a game of falling. It's literally whatever it falls on, that's what it is. At the same time, something else. The Nakuda of 8, this is actually, what's that sound?
The Malachim.
It's the Malachim, yeah.
It's the sound of the big bang.
Chashma.
It's probably the game.
The Vort is, here, we have to be connected to the Or, which is the ayin that comes before the 7. Lamaila, it's the Nakuda of the 8 that comes before. And the Nakuda of the 8 that comes before is Dafka expressed in Zman, not that Zman is destroyed, that's why it needs an Achiza and Tava. It needs an anchor in nature, as Rabbi tells us. that in order for the miracle to occur, one of the gewaldige things about Chanukah is that Chanukah is the first fully mitzvah d'Rabbanan that we celebrate. The mitzvah d'Rabbanan means that the sages, there were no prophets any longer. Purim, it was Kabbalah Satorah, but there were prophets. There was the Mordechai and Esther, and there were many prophets. There were prophets called Ezra and Nehemiah. When Chanukah came along, Klal Yisrael was in a very not good situation. There was no longer the prophets. The age of the prophets came to an end. There was a lot of corruption, a lot of Hellenistic ideas percolating amongst even Kohen and Gedolim. It was a very harsh time. And Lashon Acheres, Kavua, the next year they established Chanukah, but they realized, which was unbelievable development and unbelievable oil that was revealed in this world, they realized that Hashem wants them to participate in the unfolding of Torah Sheba'al Peh, and Hashem wants them to be Mechadish, and Hashem wants them to be La'afoshalah. And basically, the idea of the eight is the participation. This is the paradoxical nature of eight. That on one hand we say it's L'mayla min ha'teva, it's beyond nature, and yet it's always expressed through human participation. And where do we find this human participation? This is the Gilui of Torah Sheba'al Peh. The revealing of Torah Sheba'al Peh is contrast to the Yevonim. The Yevonim were Chacham, the wise of Yavon. Chazal always knew that beauty, that the beauty and wisdom was in Greece. And this was the Chacham Yavon. In contrast to the Chacham Yavon, Chacham Yisrael. The Chacham Yisrael were Dovuk. What's the difference in the Chacham Yisrael, L'Avdol, and Chacham Yisrael? They were Dovuk to something that was higher. The principle of the wisdom was, it's not that they both didn't use logic. It was, what's the logic, what's the priority? Priority? Yeah. No, not priority. No, not priority. It's called priority. Prerogative? No, priority. A priority. Okay, you guys don't know philosophy. No, what's going to talk? You don't learn Greek philosophy. So,
there was a cave, I think.
Yeah, okay, that's Kinderschemeises. Anyways, the a priori, which means the foundation of the wisdom is either it's logic-based, or it's not that it's not logic, but the foundation is transcendence. There's a dveikus to something that's beyond. There's a koyach nevui that's rest, and a recognition that there's something beyond, and then it permeates it. It permeates your intelligence. And this is what the dreidel is. What is a dreidel? Dreidel is something that's square, and it's spun from something above. This is Olam Hazeh. This is what we think about this world. Olam Hazeh, this is the way things are. Everything has its dimension. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is the front, the back, the center. Everything is very organized and civil and day and night, black and white, up and down. And then all of a sudden there's a spin and everything starts turning. Well, it's day is night and night is day and front is back. Everything's spinning. So on one hand, you can live in the chaos of that and say, oh my God, this is just, my life is just spinning out of control. I thought I'm going this direction. Now I find myself going in that direction. I thought I'm going to do this. And then I found myself in this. And then the other day I'm doing that. My life is spinning. Or we can recognize that there's a holy spinner beyond the spin. That there's an iron. Are you with me? There's an iron that's spinning us. Iron, the infinite potential of Hashem is spinning us. And spinning us in different directions. So it's no matter how you relate to the spinner. Do you think that you're in the box? Do you think that this is your direction, this is your side? Or if sometimes life gives you a switch and you find yourself in a totally different situation, do you say, this is what Hashem wants from me now? Look, the divine spinner spun me from here to here. Now I'm facing here. And tomorrow I'll face something else. I'm open. Who knows what Hashem has for me in store? Of course, you have to make a plan. I'm not against tikkun. I'm not saying you should try to live your organized life and try to figure out what you're trying to do. But don't get so stuck. This is it. The seriousness and the position that you're in right now.
5 is the 8.
5 is the 8. 5 is the 8. The 4 is like the 7. The 4 is the dimensions of space and time. You can't spin something that has 7 sides. Maybe you could. The point is that it's always spinning. It's always moving. The world, the olam, which represents the 4 directions, or guf, nefesh, seichel, you know that whole thing.
The dreidel is technically, it also has a top and a bottom.
Also 6.
And you're spinning it from the inner side. So you're actually spinning it from the 7.
And the 8th is the hand that's spinning it.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Purim Torah is not Chanukah.
Ramachah talks about the dreidel, by the way. This is his story. Dreidel is eye. This is I'm just giving you a little more. And the Maral talks about guf, nefesh, seichel, the nun gimration.
Neis gadol haya shon.
Neis gadol shon. It says it represents the guf, the nefesh, the seichel.
Rosh
Hashanah. So these words and akol, they represent the 4 exiles. We're talking about this Torah many times. Represents different parts of your consciousness, different parts of ourself, our body, our spirit, our intelligence. But inwardly, it means if you're facing in a certain direction, everything's working a certain way. It's part of not lohidus lahala. This is the root of the problem. That we take life seriously because we take it for granted. So we get into certain patterns, and then this is it. So we take it for this is it. This is my life. And then we stop being grateful for the moment that we have. And when the moment switches, whoa, who did this to me? Why? I expected to go here, and now I'm here. Chutzpah. Then you get angry and frustrated. You have to be davak in the ayin. I know it sounds easier than actually practice, but the idea to live with wonder, to live with a sense of every moment. Every moment is a miracle. Every moment is a wonderful thing. Every moment, things are changing. When the Baal Shem Tov wants to speak about this in a very coarse way, he says your machshava zaros of shachars are not the same machshava zaros you have in mincha. Your negative foreign thoughts that pops into your head during one davening, it's a new machshava zaros. It's a whole new thing of trend of thoughts. Life is always changing. This is life. We have to be davak to the oil. We have to be davak to the spinner. If we connect ourselves to the spinner, to the oil that comes, the 8 that comes before the 7, the Shabbos that comes before the weekday. And even when we're in the week and we're working in the 7 and the parameters of time and in space, we're still living with that sense of lohedus and lahal shemchagadol every moment. We're always grateful. Always grateful. Always grateful. How do you know that tomorrow you're going to wake up and your right foot's going to work? Moidani, thank you Hashem for opening my eyes. Thank you Hashem that I can speak. Thank you Hashem that I'm alive. Thank you Hashem for giving me life. What's going to be today? I'll find out. What's the new surprises that Hashem has for me? Yeah.
You mentioned that Chanukah was midrabanan.
Yeah.
Isn't that a chutzpah to establish this to be totally from?
That's what Hashem wants, right? It is a
chutzpah.
Hashem wants participation. Hashem wants us to participate in this creation. 7 is the days that Hashem gave us. Okay, creation. Who created the world 7 days? Hashem created 7. Who creates the 8th? We create the 8th. You know, this is the question that Anthropopoulos, whatever his name was, asked Rabbi Akiva about the milah, right? That was the question. The question they asked him, Mi Gadol, who's greater, God or man? He said, God, for sure. So Rabbi Akiva didn't answer him. Rabbi Akiva said, what do you do for a living? He says, I'm a baker. He says, you're a baker? Why don't you just eat stalks of wheat? He said, Rabbi, I can't eat stalks of wheat. You have to grind the wheat and you make it, then you eat it bread. He says, what's better, stalks of wheat or bread? He said, of course, bread tastes much better. He said, who's greater, God or man? This is what Hashem wants. Hashem wants we should participate in creation. Hashem was waiting for us to wake up. Not to throw pashta at yourself. That's not waking up.
It's mine.
This is it. This is what Chanukah is about. That's where we celebrate. That we reckon that we created it, and there's a confirmation that this is it. You think the first year that they established Chanukah was accepted? I guarantee you there was misnagdim against Chanukah.
That's why it took 1 year.
At least that's 1 year until they finally decided to do it. And after that, you think everyone did that? You know, there's a famous question. The shaman says you should do it one way. The Zil says you should do it the other way. How can there be an argument? They established Chanukah as kavod. The year after they established the light what? 1 candle or 8 candles? Chanukah is kavod. 300 years later, Bisham and Zil are arguing if you should light 1, 2, 3 or 8, 7, 6. What happened in those 300 years?
Different ways.
That's right. There's some people did it this way, some people did it that way, some people didn't do it, some people say that's a new thing, it's a Baal Shem Tov, it's Chassidus, we have to make chromen. It took hundreds of years and finally guys
Organic, it was like an organic.
It was organic Yom Tov.
Grassroots.
And it took hundreds of years until Klal Yisrael said, Taka, yeah, this is it. And then Mesham Yisrael said, okay, now that everyone accepts it, okay, how do we do it? So hundreds of years after Baal Shem Tov, people say, oh, Taka, Baal Shem Tov. That's what it is. This is the way we work. Yiddishkeit works very slowly. It's always changing because it's double to the ayin, but the ayin is a slow change. There's always resistance. This is the dreidel. It has to be double to the oil, to the spinner, and not get so stuck. Serious stuck. Expectations, all these to resentment and anger. How could it be? What did I deserve? What did I do? We have a lot of changes in our life. Hashem wants to give us a lot of changes in our life. We have to connect to the Rambam calls Hashem. What does the Rambam call God? At the beginning of the Yad HaChazaka?
Yachol.
So, like the beer of being, but he also calls it the masiba of the masuba, the spinner of the spinning. That the world is spinning, the world is a cycle, and the sound calls it the spinner of the spinner.
Wow.
That's God. When